Okay class, the lesson's over. I'll see you all tomorrow. Come in.
Hello, Mr. Andrew. I have a question to ask.
No problem, Jacob. Take a seat.
So, I have a friend named Chris. He's a good man who has a good heart. But there's just one problem. He has a fear of saying no. And I barely see him now. What should I do to help Chris?
That's a very good query. Don't worry, Jacob. I'll explain everything to you right now. First of all, I'd like you to tell me what his problem is again.
Why? I already told you what his problem is.
I know, but there was a key word that you mentioned. So, what's Chris's problem?
He has a fear of saying no.
Repeat that one more time.
Chris has a fear of saying no.
Okay, what's the key word in your statement?
I don't know.
The key word that you mentioned was fear. I'm sure you know what it means to have a fear of something, right?
Yes. Like having fear of spiders. Or fear of heights. Or fear of clowns.
Yes, correct.
What does fear mean?
An unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by anticipation or awareness of danger. There are a lot of things that I can say about the word fear, and words such as phobia, but I'll talk about all of that another time.
So what is Chris's problem exactly?
Before I explain to you what exactly prompts the fear of saying no, I want you to understand abbreviations. Abbreviations are a shortened form of a word or phrase. For example, have you ever heard of this abbreviation, FOMO?
FOMO? I think so.
It's the fear of missing out, a fear of not being included in something, such as an interesting or enjoyable activity, that others are experiencing.
That's understandable.
Now, have you ever heard of this abbreviation, FOSNO?
FOSNO? No. I've never heard of that.
Fear of saying no.
Oh, right.
It's important to understand these abbreviations. You'd be surprised how they all link together.
So what causes the fear of saying no? And how can it affect the individual later on?
The fear of saying no can stem from various sources, such as a desire to please others, fear of conflict or rejection, low self-esteem, or a lack of assertiveness skills. People may fear saying no because they worry about disappointing others, being seen as rude, or facing negative consequences. This fear can be deeply ingrained and may develop from past experiences or societal expectations.
Oh wow. What will happen if this continues?
When individuals struggle to say no, it can have several negative impacts on their well-being. Continuously saying yes when they want to say no can lead to feelings of resentment, stress, and overwhelm. It can also result in individuals neglecting their own needs and priorities, leading to burnout and a sense of powerlessness. Over time, this pattern can erode self-confidence and self-worth, as individuals may feel like they have little control over their own lives. Learning to assert boundaries and say no when necessary is crucial for maintaining healthy relationships and self-respect.
Oh wow. Are there any biblical references of being afraid to say no?
While the Bible may not explicitly mention the fear of saying no in modern terms, there are many stories and teachings that touch on themes of courage, obedience, and standing firm in one's beliefs. These stories can serve as guidance for navigating difficult decisions and overcoming the fear of saying no when necessary.
Can you at least provide one example of when a biblical figure was afraid of saying no?
Certainly. One notable example is the story of Jonah. In the book of Jonah, Jonah is called by God to preach to the people of Nineveh, but he initially tries to flee from this responsibility out of fear. Jonah's reluctance to fulfill God's command highlights the internal struggle and fear he faces in saying yes to God's will.
From what I'm understanding, if Chris doesn't change, then things can look really bad for him. What should I do to help him?
I want you to understand something. Anyone can sit down and pray for someone, and surely, God will answer your prayers. But you have to do your part. You have to meet God halfway and talk to Chris.
How can I help him?
It's crucial to create a safe space for open communication. Provide reassurance about setting boundaries, helping him practice assertiveness through role-playing, encourage realistic expectations, and offer ongoing support and celebration of his progress. By offering patience, empathy, and guidance, you can help him overcome his fear of saying no and build confidence in asserting his needs and boundaries effectively.
Thank you very much, teacher.
No problem, Jacob. In reality, Chris just needs your support. He needs someone by his side to remind him to never be afraid of saying no. God loves him and has a big plan for him. I've been in his shoes. I understand how he may feel. And then my sister asked me this simple question. Andrew, would it kill you to say no? And I had a thought about it. Of course it wouldn't kill me. Even if it means the whole world not liking me, my well-being comes first. And so does Chris's.
Thank you. I understand. I'll talk to Chris.
That's good. And keep him in your prayers. God's in control. And I mean that.